Good afternoon, good morning, everyone. Welcome to the Starknet All Core Devs Full Nodes Meeting 11. So before we begin, let us ensure like everyone can hear me clearly. Please give a quick thumbs up if the audio is coming through well on your end. Okay. So thank you. Let's proceed with our agenda and design and staking preparations. We'll aim to keep our discussion focused. If you have a brief question, feel free to use the chat or interrupt in between. For longer points, we'll have time at the end of each section. So yeah, let's start with updates on Starknet version 0.13.3 readiness. I would like to hear from each team about their progress and any challenges. So who would like to begin?
Yeah, for
Okay.
for us, it's the same stage. We are still under development. We are currently focusing on our sequencing, so it may take a bit more time on our side.
Okay. Kirill, you would want to go next?
Yes, thank you. On Juno's side, yeah, we started implementing new RPC methods, in particular Starknet get compile CASP and Starknet get messages status. I think if there will be no issues found, we might finish all those RPC. There are actually 3 new RPC methods. We most likely will finish them by the next call for full nodes.
Okay. Do we have someone from Starkware here? If the Starkware wants to go next. Okay. Anyone?
Yeah, there's some like the nodes that we're developing right now is like it won't be a full node implementation. It will be a state reader for the sequencer. So it's a bit of a different question for RPC readiness for Starkware. I'll just say that there is a release candidate of the RPC specs since this week. So please all take a look and comment and raise any issues in the Slack channel.
Okay. So anyone from Equilibrium Labs?
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I probably missed the beginning of this meeting. So this is about the JSON RPC or
this is about the Starknet. Okay, this is about the Starknet version 0.13.3 readiness.
Okay. So we are working on implementing JSON RPC 08 new methods like WebSocket support for various types of subscriptions. We also started looking into implementing the getProof method that is new. We have already provided some feedback regarding that the 080 RC0 specification is likely missing a couple of things, both in the request and the response. And we are also working on the Starknet get messages status new endpoint. So that's all in progress. Regarding, so there was this announcement that there would be changes to how hashes are, the block hash is calculated. I would like to ask if there will be a written specification for that or a definition of the new hash calculation. I remember we did have something like that for the 0.13.2 version. So if at all possible, I would prefer that to just having something on Slack.
Yeah, sure. I can say that we'll put the plan changes in a doc and share it. I think it already exists, but we probably have to tidy up and make it easily consumable for externals.
Okay, sounds nice. Thank you.
Okay. So do we have anyone else who would want to give an update on this? Okay. Ariel?
No, I just
Okay.
confirmed.
Okay. So if anyone wants to ask any questions before we move on regarding the topic, anyone? Okay.
Yeah, I can ask. Is my mic more working? I don't know if it's working.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
working.
you
Okay.
are audible.
Okay, so I wanted to know if like so Pathfinder has started like the get proof for V08, right? Has anyone else tried it yet or not? Okay, so I guess yeah. Okay, thank you. I have
Okay,
some question regarding that, but like I think I will see what question has said.
Please do, and also there will probably be some changes. I need to submit a PR with the Christian suggestions because as it's written, there's probably more information that needs to be there to save some extra RPC calls from the consumer that wants the proof.
Yeah, I saw a few things. Yeah.
So this is about asking for multiple trees in one call?
No, I think that's already there. It's about more, let's say, I don't know if metadata is the right word, but to fully verify the storage path, you need, for example, the nonce, because the nonce of the contract is part of the leaf. So instead of having you go and request the nonce for the class hash, all this information will just be somewhere in the response.
Got it. Thanks.
Okay, so let's proceed to the next topic. So moving to P2P integrations, we have three areas to discuss: cross-client compatibility status, P2P testing update, including Nethermind and Kurtosis POC, and Shadow Network update. So let's begin with cross-compliant compatibility status. Who can provide an update on this? Okay, Kirill, you can go.
Yeah, so on our side, we implemented all the issues found so far related to P2P. It's already in the main. The only thing that's still in development and missing in the main is that new block hash scheme for blocks, which is non 0.13.2, sorry. Yeah, and right now we're just testing different configurations like Pathfinder from Juno, Juno from Pathfinder, and Juno from Juno. And I think we have some updates related to testing. I will pass to Wojciech. Could you please say a few words?
Sure, thanks. So yeah, from our side, we've been working on those P2P testing tools for Starknet. So basically, we've been focusing on two types of tests. The first one is something we call integration tests. So in this test, we are basically running a synthetic node. So this node doesn't sync or act like a full node, but it's just able to communicate with other nodes using the Starknet's P2P protocol. Yeah. So the idea here is to send requests via P2P to the target node and check if the response is valid and follows, for example, the Starknet specification. Yeah. But so for now, we just got a simple scenario like requesting block headers from the target peer and verifying if the structure is correct. Yeah. Besides that, we also created some benchmarking tests using this tool where we can spam the target node with hundreds of P2P messages to verify how it holds up under heavy load or whether there are any delayed responses or performance issues. Yeah. So this was those we are calling the integration test. And the second tool we've been working on is the end-to-end test. So this is those kurtosis tests. Yeah. So, but for now, we are just focusing on verifying the P2P synchronization between different nodes implementation. So we are just running a configuration like Juno from Juno sync, Pathfinder from Juno sync, etc., etc. So and running some tests on this to verify if this combo is working. Yeah. But this kurtosis tool is pretty cool. I mean, we have implemented those for now on Juno and Pathfinder as model. So in the future, for example, using this, we would be able maybe to run the whole Starknet private network with just one line. But for this, for sure, we need to also create a model in kurtosis for prover, for sequencer, etc., etc. But I just want to say that it might be used in the future as well. So, but right now we've got only the synchronization between different nodes implementation. Yeah, and also I've got maybe a question regarding the Papyrus and Deoxys. Maybe is it possible for you to publish the Docker image in soon future with, for example, the P2P feature enabled? Because for now we've got only for Juno Pathfinder. So, and for those tests, it would be great to have some.
Yeah, unfortunately, we are a bit late also on that because we are currently refactoring our tree for the get-proof historical access. So we are focusing on our sequencing part. So we want to be able to have AppChain in production by next month. So we are a bit late on P2P, but we hope to it will be our next priority after our tree refactor. So probably next month, I hope so.
Sounds cool, thanks. And what about Papyrus? I'm wondering about the Docker image. Just
we have a Docker image. I think Dan, can we share it? But there are some missing holes. We're missing the events and the classes protocol. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
So I don't know if you can run the test without us implementing them. I don't know.
Okay.
Shahak, if I may, I think that this is still fine. I mean, what Wojtek is doing is setting up like the foundations for these test beds,
okay.
Right? And so, I mean, just getting all these images to talk to each other, even failing, is still progress, right? And the moment that you can then move on to stabilizing them, it will just turn green at some point, right?
Yeah, I mean, the idea is to trigger those tests whenever the new fresh image is updated, yeah, for any kind of type of node implementation, yeah. So for example, if
so I'll try to find out to publish the image and send it to you.
Thank you very much.
Awesome, thank you.
Would be great. Okay, so I guess that's all from our side, from my side, when it comes to P2P testing.
Yeah, I have a question. Like the latest that I knew about the combo between syncing Pathfinder from Juno and vice versa is that most problems were solved, right? So one direction was achieved already in July, and the Pathfinder from Juno is pretty recent, but should be okay. But do you have a different status?
Yeah, to be honest, for now it's not working for me, but I've been working on this right now, to be honest. So I'm not sure if it's my fault, my test fault, or some one of node implementation. So for sure we're gonna solve that.
Okay,
soon.
It's just let me add some data on that. So it's almost working, but because so neither Juno nor Pathfinder has properly implemented using 0.13.2 style commitments and hashes in the P2P protocol. There is a mismatch in there right now. So there's a mismatch in, so for example, Juno is always sending a state diff commitment in an 0.13.2 style, while Pathfinder is expecting a state diff commitment like that only for new blocks. So there are some minor differences that should be quite easy to solve. Like this one, for example, is a one-line diff. And I've seen it working last week after doing this one-line diff, but I would say it's definitely not working if you are testing with Pathfinder main branch right now. And I wouldn't expect that to change significantly until both nodes implement using the new style commitments in the protocol.
Right.
Okay, so anyone else would want to give an update on this topic, or shall we move ahead? Okay, yeah, Kirill?
Yeah, actually, I have an idea. What if we create some kind of shared page where we have sort of matrix of compatibility and what's like known issues found from each client? so everyone have a full observability what's going on and how we're progressing over the time. What do you guys think? Leo, Christian?
Yeah, I remember something like that Mikolai did, like back
So
in
yeah,
July.
so we did this in July, right, when we were in the workshop, and that was really cool. What Kilo is asking for is something online which could show like the current status, and Wojtek has put some matrix like this in his kurtosis test POC, which I think makes sense. And one of the next steps, ideally, would be if we could link this with the CI/CD pipeline, so that this metric is pretty much updated with every test suite run. So Wojtek, presumably you weren't planning this in your current POC increment, but hopefully this could be put in scope of one of the next increments that you'll be working on.
Yep, sounds cool.
And then, sorry, just to finish off. So that definitely is something that could be published as part of the the Markdown or README for the actual test case repo. But maybe we could even publish it somewhere on Starknet.io.
Sure,
Yeah,
that sounds reasonable to me.
I mean, Hive tests have some kind of public page, yeah, with the test results with all combinations. I guess there is some tool like this.
So Leo, to your point, let me take this away and put this on this P2P roadmap, which we have built together in July, so that is visible as an idea, and we'll keep that in mind.
Sorry, you asked to
no. So let me take this away. The idea of publishing this matrix and
cool, sure.
it being live, almost, so that we can actually work on it.
Sure, sounds good.
Okay, so I guess we can move to the consensus topic. So let us discuss, and we need to cover implementation progress updates, the pending Nethermind response to SOS block proposal concerns. So anyone from Nethermind who would want to start with this?
Hi. Sure, I can give an update on the implementation for Tendermint. We have almost implemented around 60 to 70% of the Tendermint algorithm as it is written in the paper, along with the tests for different states. And we are hoping to complete the initial engine by the end of next week.
Okay. Anyone else?
Okay, maybe I can give an update on the SOS blog idea. So a few weeks ago, we posted a blog on the community forum in which we tried to introduce a recovery mechanism for the case of unprovable blocks and different kind of bugs that they can appear on the components in the architecture of the decentralized protocol. And we are still working on doing a rebuttal because Joseph from Informal Systems raised a nice problem, like how would we revert in Tendermint without affecting too much, and how can we what does it mean a revert? I was a bit loose on that end, and I'm trying to understand what's the less invasive approach to do this, like, and ideally trying to keep as many blocks after the revert. And of course, there is the forking mechanism that you use for the stake updates, but because probably you'll need a different fork ID in this case, so we're trying to understand which is the best approach. So we are preparing the answer for that one.
Okay. Anyone else? No. I think we can move on. We'll continue to monitor the progress in this area, and now we can step on to the staking. So regarding staking, we need to confirm the impact on full client implementation as we prepare for staking stage 2, particularly concerning the node liveness concept. The key question is any specific development required in client mode software for this? Anyone would like to jump in and provide insights on this matter?
Yes, I think I will. My name is Natan. I'm the PM working on staking. So most of you I've never met. Leo saw us on the agenda and invited me. So maybe it's a warning light on our side that this stuff should already be planned out as requirements for you guys if we plan to have it on the roadmap. But we currently don't have anything specific. So the only thing I can say is we plan on having the attestant to block or the liveness parameter be on-chain transactions. So the idea is of having a script that checks a logic on a smart contract, and every time the logic says it's my turn, I'll send the transaction. The transaction would include block headers from past blocks. So that's a very, very broad description or heuristic description of what you can expect. But this is not yet finalized in a way I can send you requirements or specifications. So from you guys, the only thing I would ask is having this heuristic of checking a smart contract logic and saying if it's your turn might be the random number there matches my Starknet address, it matches one of my addresses. It's something very, very simple. The two last digits match or something like that, and then I'll send a transaction. I think it's a simple logic, but nonetheless, it's something that would take time to develop. So yeah, that's what we have in mind.
Nathan, if I may, will you have this expectation just written down somewhere that we can refer to?
Yes, I would prepare something not only from product, but also someone from engineering to make sure I'm not writing nonsense because
that would be appreciated. Thank you so much.
Sure. So I'll prepare something for next week, I hope, but as next week is a short week, I don't know if I'll be able to.
Okay, thank you.
Can you hear me? Thanks. Yeah, okay. I just want to reiterate something that Nathan said. I think what we're trying to achieve here is that we can compensate stakers only when they're actually doing something. And what Nathan suggested is a mechanism to make sure that we do so. So if you have any ideas of how we can do it simply, you're more than welcome to propose this. And the idea is that stakers will be able to run some kind of executable, for example, a full node, with other mechanism that whenever it's their turn, we should define better what it means their turn. If they're actually doing something, for example, running a node, then we can compensate them. So this utility should somehow listen to to a full node job, listen, keep thinking, and once in a while send a transaction on chain. So if you have any better ways or suggestion on how we can do it in a simple manner, it will be great.
So you are saying that full nodes will be rewarded from staking?
It's not full node, it's like the stakers who are running full nodes.
Yeah, but I'm trying to understand because so staking is coming on Starknet, but for now it's only the foundation vesting token. What compensation regarding infrastructure is coming on Starknet, and at what point will it happen? Like, are we talking about something for the next 10 months, or are we talking about something that will come with the staking in October?
I'm not sure I entirely understood the question. I'll try to answer what I understood. So the idea currently that stakers have no obligation or do none of the operative jobs they should do on running the network. They are not sequencing blocks. It's all still software. So we plan to gradually increase their responsibilities and condition their rewards on these responsibilities. So the immediate next step we thought of is them showcasing the fact they're running a full node. So this is not something you would expect from a proof of stake consensus protocol, but we found it to be a suitable step in that way when they, from their perspective, they're running some sorts of infra, and having more full nodes does support the network. So we thought it's sufficient. But next steps would include some actual consensus or, you know, the different stuff that would contribute to the proof of stake mechanism. Does that answer some of your question?
Even in a centralized context, relying on the feeder gateway, we will showcase that we are just like downloading state and serving it, like like rewarding full nodes as they are. They're literally just running a piece of code on their local machine and serving their local stuff.
So you're saying without the peer-to-peer network, running a full node is not that important. That's basically what you're saying.
Yeah.
Note taken. I have no reply to that. I need to think of the replication. I don't think it's negligible, but I understand it's less meaningful.
Yes, Yare?
Yeah, I hope you can hear me because my connection is poor. But Antira, I think it's important for the staking providers and everyone who is trying to stake in Starknet to feel that they will definitely have some technical responsibility within the short term, and to already start studying up on the Starknet ecosystem, which they will do through the full nodes. So I think this step makes a lot of sense, and I agree it doesn't make sense in terms of the proof of stake in the future. But we'll keep proposing further changes either to the full nodes or to switching over to sequencing architecture in the future. And so I think this like gradual change makes sense. It's a very small first step, but at least something.
Okay.
Yes.
Santorian?
Sorry, can you hear me right now?
Yeah, you're audible.
Perfect. I was just wondering to make sure I understood correctly. So in a sense, this is a first step towards rewards for participants in consensus. Is that one way to see it? Is that essentially what the proposal is about? Essentially just a way to identify nodes that are taking part in consensus long term. Like this is just like block production rewards in a way.
Yes, that's the idea behind it.
Okay, thanks. That makes it clearer.
Denisa?
Yeah, I also have a question about it, just to make sure that I got it right. So in this first iteration, the stakers, do they have to all do the same activity?
Yes, I would say currently they only need to lock funds. They only need to lock funds on the smart contracts. So we are not validating them doing any activity. They are expected to run full nodes, but we still cannot check that they are actually doing it. Next steps, like we said, the immediate next step would be some way for us to being sure they are running a full node. And you mean the same job?
Like, I don't know. So on the long, on like 5 steps from here, they will need to propose, for example, a block, or they will need to validate. I wanted to check if at this stage they have to do like they have to do the same job, and if yes, if they can prove it, or how do they prove it? Or
yeah, so currently it's not
okay,
that.
so that's the problem. Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
Okay, thanks.
So, like, do we have a clarity on this staking topic, or anyone has still any remaining questions to ask? Anyone?
I would want to add something. Just a small framing to this subject, that is transitioning between being centralized and decentralized is complicated, and just doing it in one step is no go in a sense. So we are looking for different steps in different directions to do it gradually. we didn't explain the reasons we chose these steps but not others, but we can agree here that it would make sense. We can take Ethereum transitioning between proof of work to proof of stake. It took many steps and many months as an example. So just framing this, and everyone that has specific questions about the path we took can ping me on Slack or something, and I'll be happy to answer them.
Shanturian?
Pardon me. Yes, if I got it correctly, this will be a reward protocol for engagement in the network. If I understood correctly, again, on the short term, this is more towards running full nodes and eventually sequences. I'm just a bit well concerned, or at least it's definitely going to be an interesting engineering challenge if we're expecting participant stakers to run sequences to be able to find an adequate staking reward compared to the cost of operation and hardware. And I'm wondering, this isn't really so much a question as just wanting to highlight the challenge of what might be hard to run hardware with sequencing rewards.
Okay, I think it's just the more reason to do something. We can change the actual parameters and incentives along the way. Me and Leo already did some heuristics of what would it take in the future to run, having Stu, having other stuff, but it depends on a lot of moving parts. And this is another reason we want to see that it makes sense economically, and if we need to adjust things, we will. But people, hardware and costs are very expensive on a lot of other chains that are not Starkware, and we expected even not to be at the highest rank of these. So is ballparking with Leo a few months ago, but it's something we're looking into, definitely. And I have to go to another meeting, so thank you very much. And yeah.
Denisa, you would want to add something? You raise your hand? Or
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you everyone for your participation and insights in today's Starknet All Core Devs Full Nodes meeting number 11. If we have any additional points that come into your mind after this call, please don't hesitate to reach out to the team or directly post it on the team channel. And let's continue the same momentum. Have a productive rest of your day. Thank you, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thanks. Bye.
Thanks, everyone. Bye-bye.
Right. Thanks.